I had a dream last week, and in my dream, I was with some friends in a home, in a house, and the house was 3 floors. And I was standing, like I was on the last floor, and I had my dog with me. And all of a sudden, I heard someone say that a dog had fallen from the stairs and that he was hurt. And it was like a room, like I heard a voice say that. I heard one of my friends say that. And then I noticed that, okay, the dog was fine, nothing happened. And then I turned my back and I see that my dog fell off the stairs of the 3rd floor. And so immediately, as in my dream, I was panicking because he's such a small dog, and I knew that if he would fall from such a high place, then he would be seriously hurt or dead. And so in the dream, my father, who I later found out was not my father, but he was a familiar spirit. If you don't know what a familiar spirit is, I encourage you to look it up. And so basically my father comes back, so he goes downstairs to check on the dog. He comes back upstairs and I'm expecting the bad news, right? So he tells me the dog is dead, there's nothing we can do, he's gone. And so I start crying and crying, and I was so angry, and I was saying things like, I can't believe that this happened, And 20 minutes later, I decide to go downstairs to get my dog, to check on him. Not to check on him, but like I was thinking of what do I do with the body and stuff like that. And then I go downstairs only to find out that he's not dead at all. My dad had put him on the sofa, and the dog was in a lot of pain. He was hurt and he needed to be attended to, and I needed to take him to the doctor. And immediately in the dream, I put my hand on him and I start praying on him. And when I was done praying, thoughts were going through my mind, thoughts like, I wasted so much time upstairs. I could have been already at the doctor with my dog right now. And I was upset with myself for not double checking the news that I received in my dream from my father, who was actually a familiar spirit. And so this is the moment when I woke up. And at first I thought, I didn't think much about my dream, but then the Holy Spirit told me that this happens with us when we believe bad news and without double checking and without looking into it more. And we could be wasting time thinking that the situation is dead. And now I'm thinking that this message goes with the forgiveness message, that we could think that someone is too gone to be salvaged, or a situation could be too ruined to be salvaged, but that's never true. Nothing is impossible with God, and no one is too far gone for God. And just like the dog wasn't dead, your situation is not dead either. Don't give it up. Don't give it up. In my dream, I went down and I saw him. Thank God I was not too late. But I could have been too late because of my delaying and my believing the bad news that I got. When you receive bad news, take it to God immediately. Go check it out and don't despair. Don't just believe what you hear. Sometimes we could receive bad news from a person. Sometimes we could receive bad news in our thoughts. We could be receiving thoughts from Satan's minions, and if we accept them, they get planted in our heart, and then they get planted in our life and they manifest. So we must really be we have to test everything and be vigilant with everything that we take in and everything that we accept. Don't believe the bad news. God will redeem anything that he wants in your life. You will not lose it. You will not lose your promised land. You will not lose your dog. Remember that there were people that wanted Moses dead. There were people that wanted Jesus dead, but they didn't succeed, did they? God saved Moses in a way that no one expected him to. And Jesus also obviously grew up, and the enemy was not able to kill him, even though the kings had put out messages that were like, kill all the newborn males. And so no one would have thought that they would make it. And it is the same about your situation. If God has spoken it over your life, nothing will stop it from happening. Don't believe the bad news. Believe God over all things, over all men. Let God be true and everyone a liar. God will redeem it. God, He will do it. He will do it.